Stop. Black Americans are being hunted and murdered in Mississippi. I'm going to say that again because it's horrifying, and the mainstream media is too busy allowing the Trump administration to dominate the news cycle, lying about the economy, downplaying the war, ignoring the health outbreaks, and the upcoming healthcare cuts to take even a moment to talk about the Black people being targeted for death in the state of Mississippi. And before you say I'm being hyperbolic about this, if we had this many unexplainable deaths of white children happening in one state, you know the media would be losing their collective minds. One beautiful white girl was killed by an undocumented immigrant, and the Republican Party ran their entire election and then wrote an aggressive immigration bill in her name. But we are watching Black person after Black person after Black person lose their lives under unexplained circumstances, many of them being found strung up in trees, and no foul play is being called by the police or the medical examiner or any investigative reporters.
There is not one bone in my Black body that would ever want to go to Mississippi. Mississippi? Mississippi just sound like a whip. Sippy, sip. What? Man, Mississippi? Man, all my years of living, and it's probably not all people from Mississippi, so I ain't saying everybody, but Mississippi, shit just sound racist. It just sounds scary. Like,
this brick is probably one of the most important things I'll ever put my hands on. I just crawled through what's remaining of Bryant Grocery, and Bryant's Grocery and Market is the store where Emmett Till was falsely accused of harassing a white woman, which led to his abduction and his violent murder and the event that sparked the American Civil Rights Movement. I'm just outside of Greenwood, Mississippi. This is the cotton capital of the world. And Greenwood, Mississippi also has the highest rate of lynchings in the state of Mississippi, and the state of Mississippi has the highest rate of lynchings all across America. And let me remind you, a Black woman was just recently lynched in this state. This is such heavy work. But what's not lost on me is the fear and the parallels of the fear. This happened in 1955. It's 2026. My mom called me while I was on the way here, and she told me to be careful. They're still lynching people, baby. And it just, I wonder if Emmett's mother told him to be careful. I know she did. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And,
I have always told myself I could live anywhere in the United States. I may like some places better than others. Some are too cold, some are too hot, but I always told myself I could live anywhere in the United States. Not around the world, let's just take the States. But I lied. I really lied. I could not live in Mississippi. I could not live in Mississippi. Now, granted, I was born and raised in the North, in Connecticut, for those who know. But, so I already have this Northern philosophy. Not a Southern gal. I know some of y'all Southern gals, some Southern men, some that's your gig. I can go south. I've been south. I've been to lots of states. Okay, Alabama. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to Mississippi. Can't live in Mississippi. Cannot live in Mississippi. I'm to the point where I don't even care if I ever visit Mississippi again. That Mississippi can stay where it is. Don't like Mississippi. I never liked Mississippi, even when I went there, but I came into another. Don't like it. I don't like the policies. I don't like the history. I don't like Mississippi. I'm ranting, I'm raving, but I'm telling you, I don't like it. Some people say it's Texas. No. Like Texas. Do not like Mississippi. And the history of Mississippi and all that it's been through, I don't know why anybody, especially if you're a person of color, will live in the state of Mississippi. And then nowadays, with all the things going on, you don't have to live there. You can leave the state. You don't have to live in Mississippi. The Mississippi is not a place for everything. Everybody should not be everywhere. And some places, if they don't like you, don't. If people don't like you, you can't make them like you. You can't make them like you. They either like you or they don't like you. So I'm here ranting just to say, and I'm sure you all have places and states and cities that you couldn't live in for various reasons. For me, it's Mississippi. And I've thought this way for a very long time. Not just this year, not just last year, but I'm now vocalizing it because I'm sure I have an army with me. Cannot live in Mississippi, do not like the state of Mississippi. And it's not for me. It may be for you, may for you and your family and your whatever. This is not, this one here, not going to Mississippi. That's my rant. That's my rave. Criticize, say you Northern, you're Yankee, blah, blah. You can, whatever you want to say. Don't care. Don't like Mississippi. Flat bank, kaput, whatever. Don't like Mississippi. Absolute, yes, absolutely don't like it. That's just, I had to just rant and just tell you that. I know your life would change because you had to know this, but no Mississippi.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I trust that you're doing well today, and welcome to yet another interesting episode. So on today's videos, we are going to be focusing on these creators who are actually trying to shed light on what is happening to Black people, to be specific, in Mississippi. Because I've come to realize that basically all those things, like the ones that happened to Black people during the slavery period, most of them were ended in 2013. So you can imagine from the time where Black freedom began in the United States. And some of them actually got to enjoy this freedom in 2013. And also remembering, like in Mississippi, back then, for Black people to vote, they were being charged roughly $2. And right now, there's a lot of chaos that is going on. And the most sad part about it is the mainstream media is not putting a glance to it. Because you can tell me, there could be like a bunch of white kids that could get lost, or maybe lynched, or maybe just hanging out with a group of people and then maybe they're hurt in certain ways. They are going to be like a national press that is going to actually be discussing about these matters. You all have seen what has happened to Nolan, yeah? Nolan Wells, I'm talking about Nolan Wells. Up to now, that case is just going round and round, and you cannot tell me that the system has not come to realization that this is the person who took Nolan's life, and nobody is actually talking about it. So today's we're not even focusing on Nolan and all that, but all in all, we hope that he gets justice some of the day, And what's going on right now is really scary because Mississippi has one of the largest number of lynching in the whole state, and people are not talking about it. So basically, the system is trying to make people enablers, because you cannot find a Black man, hanged on the tree and then you think they hang themselves, unless maybe it's a case of mental issues. But even with the mental issues cases, you'll find somebody, peacefully take their lives maybe inside their house, something like that. But you'll find a Black man hanged literally, and suspects are there, but then again the system does not really care about it. Mississippi is one of the places where Black people have been ignored for such a long time, and it's just sickening that these people also contribute largely to the economy of the USA, but then again they're being overlooked. And when I say like overlooked, it's not the whole entire people or other race. I'm talking about the Black people. So I'm just seated here and wondering, like, this is still happening. We're in 2026, and this is still happening. You cannot convince me to this point that the system, or rather the government, doesn't know. It knows. It knows exactly what is going on. and all that. They're also trying to erase black history. Anything that is black, they're trying to erase it so that black people just remain there knowing that they were never even meant to be. And it's such upsetting because there are creators here who stayed in Mississippi back then. And what they're saying right now is if they were given a chance to go back, they would never go back. Because, like I've seen people leaving their hometown and then they would come back, like saying, this place raised me, this place did this to me, and they just grateful for everything that happened to them during that period of time that they were staying at that particular stage. But that is in contrary to what people who left Mississippi are saying. Guys, this is becoming an issue. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Just in case you're new here, my name is Yvonne and you're welcome to being part of my online family. I really appreciate if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. That is the only way you can support me to be able to bring you such content. And you know how we do. Until next time, please leave the comment down below so that we can see what you think about this topic.